Yeah. All right. So let's start right there. I'm going to start with tracking this where we're looking at it right now. We got those 5 p.m. numbers. Shows that it was at 85 mile per hour winds, right? And you can see the bigger picture there. This thing is looking good. It really is. It's getting a little bit better. There is some dry air kind of mixing in just a little bit right around the center, but not a lot. And we do expect it to continue to intensify as it goes through the evening hours. Now, that's all of the recon that's out there right now. We've got plane, that's Lakeland Linder. That's our NOAA National Hurricane Center. Miss Piggy, that's what I'm trying to think. And Kermit, those are the name of the planes coming out of Lakeland Linder Air Force Base. They're also flying flights that are around it. So they're not only looking at the storm itself, but they're flying flights around the storm to see what the atmosphere looks on top of it and in front of it. And because of that, that data all goes into the models and you get a better model solution in theory, right? And you do, and that's why they do that. So here's that track I just showed you. And this has been an increase in wind speed. Now, again, when you see these numbers, they look scary. 130 mile per hour winds, that's by tomorrow afternoon, right? That's going to be right near the center. It's going to be in a small area right in here, okay? We are way over here. We will not see those winds. But it could be close to 130 right there, at least some of the highest winds, probably be 100, 120 as it makes landfall for most areas. And that will be tomorrow evening just after sunset. Unfortunately, it looks like near the Tallahassee area, right? Just along their coast there. There you go with the blue. Look at the blue on this. That is tropical storm warnings that go up into the mountains of North Carolina. That's how far, because it's such a big storm, and when it goes on land, it will weaken, but that wind field spreads out. So you take those real high winds, 100, 120, 130 mile per hour winds, plus all the other wind, and you spread it all out as it falls apart. And that's why you get, that's amazing to see that. All right, now let's talk tropical storm forecast models. You can see most of them do take it up there towards the Tallahassee area. Not too concerned about a wobble. There will be wobbles, but what's going to happen is this thing's going to pick up speed. It already has started. It was 10 knots earlier. It's now 12. It's going to continue to pick up a little bit of speed. And once it does that, it usually gets kind of on a beeline and it can get going to where it needs to go, right? All right, so surge 5 to 8 foot for the Tampa Bay area. We will see winds generally in the 40s and 50s with gusts to near 70 miles per hour. Higher numbers right along the immediate coast. Look at the surge, guys. This is huge, and you need to pay close attention to this. 5 to 8 in the Tampa area. 8 to 12 in Pasco. Now, Jen Titus is up there in Citrus County. Good news, but kind of. That number has come down to 10 to 15. They had 7 last time. We're thinking 10 to 15. So even if we get 10, that's going to be, 3 feet more than what we had last time. So it's going to do a lot. Here's the timing. All of this, the weather gets worse tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and then in the evening hours, obviously. We will get better early Friday morning. That's the surge. This is for the Tampa Bay area because it's the tides in St. Pete. But look, the surge starts coming up early in the morning, but really from about 3 or 4 p.m. through about 2 in the morning, that's when we're going to see most of it. So I went from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. for the peak, but that's 5 to 8 foot. So a lot of this is going to happen overnight, but you will notice those water levels coming up. This is the reason why right here. Look at the yellow. That is a large swath of tropical storm force winds. The larger that is, the more water it can push. And then watch as we get towards about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, the winds turn more southerly and then southwesterly. That's why the surge really starts to come up in the afternoon for tomorrow. And then you can see it'll slowly be falling apart. Now, how does that affect us here specifically? Let's head over to Colleen right now, and she's going to take a closer look.
Thanks, Bobby. Yeah, so going county by county here, it's very important that you know the difference of the storm surge between you and your neighbors because we have big changes here. So as Bobby just mentioned, the latest updates, we have a surge 10 to 15 feet expected for Citrus County and then 8 to 12 feet for Pasco and Hernando County. Now we're going to move down to Tampa Bay. I did want to notice the winds. Notice the winds 50 to 70 miles per hour, could even be stronger than that now that we're expecting this to intensify to a Category 4 storm ahead of landfall. Going into Tampa Bay, we have 5 to 8 feet storm surge expected. That did updates. That update is about normal to what we had earlier today. And thank you, Bobby. My graphics weren't advancing there. So there we go. And then we also in Sarasota, Manatee County, we have 4 to 7 feet of storm surge that is expected. So that remains about the same. Now that did update earlier today, but with this latest 5 o'clock update, that has not changed. And then moving into our inland locations, we are still expecting some severe weather out that way. Not necessarily storm surge, but you have to be aware that these are counties that are getting brushed by those outer bands where we have those stronger winds, and that's where we could have some isolated tornadoes start to spring up as well. Of course, we are keeping you updated online through your hurricane headquarters, and anytime you have a question, please make sure you go to our website, download our app, so you have that information in the palm of your hand.